Today I'm going to be talking about part 3 of the physical curses of the children of Israel. I did part 1 and part 2. Now I'm going to focus continually on the physical curses that are affecting still the African Americans in the United States of America and throughout the world. Now I'm going to be referencing out of Net Wellness Consumer Health Information, and this information is going to explain to you why the curses are still happening and they have not stopped after 2019. And it says the so-called African Americans led the nation in infant deaths, heart disease, cancer, strokes, diabetes, and AIDS, and have a greater risk of attaining these diseases than any other race. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, confirms this as well, but they also mention that there are several other diseases that are unique to African Americans, although it can be seen in rare cases of the Caucasian white people. Here are some of the diseases that still affect African Americans: sickle cell anemia, beta thalassemia, glucose 6-phosphate deficiency disease, septicemia, and hypertension, high blood pressure. While there are many other diseases that the CDC failed to mention, such as kidney diseases and autism, these 5 diseases above have resulted in millions of African American deaths since our arrival to the Americas. And considering the fact that these diseases were not mentioned in the Bible, we can once again conclude that these curses are prophecies of Moses being fulfilled on us due to our ancestors and disobedience as well as our own, as in Jeremiah 16:10-13. Another physical curse that was prophesied to come upon the descendants of Israel was that their enemies would put iron chains around their necks. In Deuteronomy 28:48, the prophet Moses spoke that, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon the neck until he have destroyed thee." This curse of having yokes placed around your neck by our enemies took place during many of the Israelite slaveries, but the slavery we are going to focus on is the American slavery. So let's take a look at the few narratives that our ancestors who were shipped to the Americas and see if they had yokes around their necks as well. Now, we know that every February they have Black History Month. In Black History Month, they show roots over and over and over because they want to remind us that we were slaves and that we are nothing. They want to continue to show us that they're inferior and they're superior, and we're inferior. That's how the narrative has always been about the United States. You see, I'm living here in Nigeria right now. And in Nigeria, as I was talking to my sister-in-law, they don't see race here. They see tribes. That's how it was in the Bibles. They seen tribes. Here they talk about what tribe you're from. They don't see you as black, white, or Hispanic. They want to know what tribe. So when they see someone from another country, they either think you're from UK, Canada, or the United States, or wherever you're from. But they don't see me as a black woman. They just see me as an American. In the book, The Great Slave Narratives, a former slave by the name of Gustavus Voss is recorded as saying, "The manufacturing of neck yokes, collars, chains, leg bolts, and iron muscles were used as instruments of torture in the slave trade." To confirm this account of neck yokes being used on the slaves, let's visit the narrative of another slave and see if this is so. In the book that I'm going to reference, African American Slave Narratives, Austin Stewart is soon approaching freedom from slavery and states. I could not realize that my bonds were not yet broken, nor the yoke removed from off my neck. I was already free in spirit, and I silently exulted in the bright prospect of liberty. This is also confirmed by Solomon Northrop's 12 Years a Slave, in which he states, I have seen these poor creatures come out of the woods with heavy ring around their necks, and one around their ankle, and a heavy chain from one ring to the other, some chained up to stumps. This was, as the Rebs expressed it, to keep them from running away with the damn Yankees. Mr. Northrop's testimony can also be seen visually, as it has now been made into a film back in 2013 and directed by Steve McQueen, which is the 12 Years a Slave. In the light of this historic accounts of former slaves, who all confirmed that iron yokes being placed upon a slave's neck was common, we can easily conclude the so-called African Americans are bearers of this curse. Now I'm going to do the final portion of the physical curses, and I'm going to explain to you the last curse that is the most damning. We are still underneath the curse. Even though we're not shacked up in chains and we don't have anything around our necks or our ankles, we have it in our mindset, because we still can't come together as one. And we are still dominated by the Gentiles, which was, we can also say, the Edomites. We're being taught the same way, and we have not changed our mentality. The only way that we're going to know the truth, we have to listen to truth. And what's the truth? Listen to the word of Yahuwah. He's going to open your eyes to give you the revelation. That's what he does to his children. But the ones that are being disobedient, they're going to die in their sin. So my responsibility that Yahuwah has given me is to open your eyes to what is really going on with these curses, and for you to repent, turn from your wicked ways, and follow his commandments, because he's waiting on you to remove all those curses that has been placed on you in Deuteronomy.